Thank you, Chairman. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Declan Bree. I'm an independent candidate linked to the United Left Alliance. It's my view that the cuts in wages and welfare must be reversed and the Fianna Fáil four-year austerity plan must be scrapped. There can be no justification, moral or otherwise, for making ordinary people pay for the reckless gambling of the bondholders, the bankers and the speculators. Fianna Fáil has not only mismanaged the wealth of the country, but has allowed the country's assets to be plundered and robbed by bankers and property speculators. I see the IMF bailout as a further means of shifting the burden of debt from the banks and those who created the present crisis onto the backs of ordinary people. The austerity plan has no real vision on jobs, no vision on job creation, no sense or evidence of a sustainable plan for growth. Despite this, all the main parties have signed up to a consensus for cuts. Labour wants to take £4.5 billion out of the economy and cut thousands of jobs, and Fine Gael wants to take £6 billion out of the economy and cut even more jobs. I say the current crisis requires a fundamental shift in our way of thinking and offers us a unique opportunity to create a more equal society. The bailout of the banks and developers is unacceptable and will burden us and our children for decades to come. Already the bailout has led to mass unemployment and immigration. Fianna Fáil are now desperately trying to reinvent themselves. However, the reality is that all their TDs and senators had a hand in the ruination of our economy. All of them have directly supported the very policies that not only got us into this mess, but are making ordinary people pay for it. Unfortunately, like Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael and Labour are also signed up to the consensus for cuts. I would say that austerity and taking money out of the real economy will not turn this country around. It will only serve to take money out of the pockets of people who are already struggling. I and other left independents are committed to putting the interests of people first by ending the bank bailouts, reversing the savage cuts in wages and welfare, and by making the wealthy pay their fair share. I believe that there is an alternative way, and I need your help to achieve it. Among my priorities are the reversal of the savage cutbacks in wages and social welfare. If austerity worked, the crisis would be over by now. €9 billion has already been cut from public spending and government finances have worsened. I believe we must renounce the debts recklessly incurred by the banks. The bailout is a further means of shifting the burden of debt from the banks and bondholders and those who created the present crisis onto the backs of ordinary working people. And with over 400,000 unemployed and 50,000 immigrating each year, we need immediate investment in job creation. We need to utilise the talents of our young people, promote Indigenous Irish industry and stem the tide of immigration. And we must at a minimum restore the breast cancer service to Sligo General Hospital. I also believe that Ireland's oil and gas resources, valued at €440 billion, must be used for the benefit of the Irish people and not for multinational corporations, and we must have a fair tax system. It's estimated that Irish millionaires currently own €121 billion. A minimum wealth tax on the assets of these millionaires would raise €6 billion annually and eliminate the need for many of the cuts in wages, social welfare, health and education. I would ask you to vote number 1, Declan Bree, on polling day.